We've seen a lot of young people at the forefront of this fight. And we have this next generation moving in who are also, by the way, affected by a global pandemic, you know? And so we need them. And that's exactly what a lot of celebrities were calling to action and reaching out to about this weekend with YouTube's virtual commencement. They were addressed the class of 2020 who, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they've been through it. You know, they were robbed of the rest of their senior year. And now all of a sudden we're in the middle of this racial pandemic, you know, but it was amazing to see people like Beyonce praise them for being on the right side of history, for using their collective voice for the voiceless, and also, you know, see Beyonce in this, like, address Black Lives Matter. It was really emotional and also really powerful.
Thank you for using your collective voice and letting the world know that Black lives matter. The killings of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and so many others have left us all broken. It has left the entire country searching for answers. We've seen that our collective hearts, when put to positive action, could start the wheels of change. Real change has started with you, this new generation of high school and college graduates who we celebrate today.
Yeah, you know, she talked about her own experience. Beyonce has done a lot for the Black culture, whether people for the Black community, whether people want to admit that or not. We've seen it in Homecoming, Coachella, you know, that was a representation of HBCUs. We've seen it at the Super Bowl 2016 when she basically performed and brought awareness to police brutality in America. And in a number of cases, her just being Beyonce does a lot for the Black community. This is a Black woman, arguably one of the biggest stars, singers in the world, and she's a Black woman. She talked about how when she was inspired to start her own label and management company, it was because she didn't see enough Black people at the table, enough Black women in particular at the table. So she had to go chop down wood and build her own table. Then she had to bring other people that were not being seen, the underdogs, men and women, to the table. So she's doing her part behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. Another part that stuck out to me was Obama's speech. You mentioned how this generation has had such a heavy weight on their shoulder, you know, the coronavirus, and then now this. He mentioned that, quote, "You are the best educated generation in history." And to me, that just made me stop and take a pause. These kids graduating are the chosen ones. And I say that because they're at an age where they can digest information, they can understand it, and then they can actually implement change. You don't go through this much adversity and come out, you know, not affecting the world in a better way, not changing.
Or go into hiding.
Right, like, or disappear. You go through this much adversity and come out stronger and better and more educated, as Barack Obama said, and just more powerful. So watching this, once again, I was in tears for this class. I really admire them, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do in this world.
And it was also words that I think everyone needed to hear. I think that's probably why I watched. Like, I'm not even just telling you this. I literally watched the 4+ hour commencement addresses. I watched it all, you know, and it was—
We're all graduating in a sense, to be real, to a new level.
That's exactly how I feel, right? We're all graduating. We're all evolving. We're all coming out of this a little bit stronger, hopefully, you know? And so it did make me hopeful, you know? It was also inspiring to hear from the Obamas, because we kind of lack a leadership right now and a message of hope. But more than anything, they just wanted to also recognize that there is a generation of young people who are trying to affect change, you know, and supporting the Black Lives Matter movement in particular, and fighting against police brutality, and racial injustice. And, you know, and it's also inspiring to see young artists too put their money where their mouth is. We mentioned BTS last week, and they were also featured in YouTube's virtual graduation. They shared their own personal stories of growth and adversity. But this comes after the group donated $1 million to the Black Lives Matter movement. And then the fans literally matched that. They doubled it a day later. You know, and that's another, and that's what I meant. Like these young people, they're really affecting change, and they're doing it, and hopefully inspiring others to do the same.
Wow!
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, another way you can affect change, though, is to vote.
Vote. Please vote.
Okay.
Seriously.